Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT Users. The Challengers Open qualifiers near the first set of their conclusions. Given the fact that it's now February, there's lots to talk about the VCT Kickoffs beginning around the world. The big stacked group though in the North American side has been causing lots of controversy over the last couple of days, and FNS gives his prediction as to which two teams are going to come out on top. Very much intrigued your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Plenty we've got to dive into. First of all, well actually no, I was just joking guys. We're not going to talk about Sage Mummy versus Jet Daddy, by the way. If you guys want to look into it, feel free to, but that is not within the scope of Valorant esports, I don't particularly believe. There was this that's kind of funny as well here from Psycho, who of course now is working with the M80 like Counter-Strike team. There's this IEM event going on at the moment, and Psycho was after Def got like a 4K or whatever, he said, oh, this guy's a Valorant player, you guys are trash type thing, which I thought was kind of funny, and nice to see Def competing again as well, right, because, you know, he had that stint on Sentinels last year. They decided it wasn't to be, they were going to move in a different direction, and well, so far, of course, it seems to be working out for them rather well. We've got to talk, though, about the Challenger side, but also what's going on in Game Changers as well. So the Game Changers qualifiers have come to a conclusion for now, while the Challengers qualifiers go on. But there's, of course, lots to talk in the community about whether a Game Changers team can qualify for Challenges. That would be, you know, last year, version 1, which are now effectively Shopify Rebellion, they were the closest team to doing so, but they weren't particularly close to doing so. The feeling has been, though, that these Game Changers teams are getting better. They've made progress over the last couple of years, and you know, I think it would be really cool for the community if one of those teams could qualify through for the Challengers in whatever region. Now in Brazil, Team Liquid Brazil weren't too far away from making it happen either, but I think they just fell short in the first time of asking. Maybe they've got another opportunity coming up soon, but it's a similar story so far in the Americas. So lots of excitement really about whether the best Game Changers team in the world that won the World Championship, SR, can actually qualify for Challengers, right? So Neuer here has a crazy series on this case, and they were making a serious run through the tournament yesterday, and well, as Floor says yesterday, 2-1 today, lots of whiffs and bad decisions near the end, top 12 so far, lower bracket tomorrow after a good night of rest to continue our Challengers run. So yeah, they went down in the end to this team Winthrop, and we'll see that in a second, but you know, there were some cool clutches that Floor was making as well in this one, and as Boostio says, you guys look more nervous here than in the GC finals, just be confident type thing, because to be fair, like it is, you know, to some degree a different level of competition. Well, obviously a different level of competition. Game Changers finals, they were confident they're the best GC team in the world, but they know full well they're not the best Valorant team in the world. So then when you play in the Challengers qualifiers, you play teams like, okay, hang on a second here, we've got to really lock in. So it's been exciting to watch, and people are really looking forward to seeing how this is going to develop going forwards. But yeah, they played this Winthrop University team, took them down 2-0, pretty close fought affair to be fair. Sunset was 13-9, and then it was 13-7 on the Ascent. But yeah, this series did not go their way. Mel had a bit of a rough one, but they can still bounce back in the rest of the tournament because the bracket now looks like this. There's also to note for you guys, Sad Esports versus Burgerville. They had another couple of Game Changers teams or players here. So Bob is on this roster, and Kat is actually on this Burgerville roster as well. So cool to see some Game Changers players not just playing it with you know, with their full team, but also kind of moving around between other teams as well to try to qualify. So I think that shows some good ambition, really, that for a lot of these Game Changers players, it's not really just about staying as your Game Changers team and trying to qualify. It's like, well, you know, I want to be the best Valorant player that I can possibly be. If I join these guys or those guys to make that happen, then that's what they're going to try and do. So I think it's a really cool story. But yes, the Sad Esports are continuing on. So this is one more series to qualify. This is legitimately the qualification series for Challengers. So 4 teams will qualify from this bracket right here, from, well, 2 from winners, 2 from losers, and then the remaining spots will be filled in the second qualifier, which comes up in, well, a few days time on, will actually conclude on February the 16th. So there's another chance if you go out of this one, but yeah, one of these 2 teams will qualify through for Challengers, and then also one of these 2 teams, so the Glazers or YFP Gaming here, they'll qualify as well. So yeah, the winner of this will qualify for Challengers for next season. These are some very familiar names that you guys, I'm sure, will have noticed before, but if we go down to losers bracket, this is what we find. So there's a good few rounds still to play to qualify here as well through, but that's what's happening on this side, and SR find themselves at this side of the bracket, Burgerville find themselves right here. So yeah, going to be exciting to watch, but if you do fall short, there of course is another opportunity in a few days time. But it is pretty cool, right, that 7 of, well, not 20, but actually 40 players in the upper bracket are women in these VCT qualies. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. I know that people are looking forward to the future of that as well. And as Mel said, lost, you know, 1-2, lost 1 today, puts us top 12. GG's 2 we played, and of course a big lower bracket run to come. 3 best of 3s, sloppy in the end, and to be fair, that's a part of it as well. Maybe as Boostio said, some nerves, but also the fact that it's a lot of Valorant to be played in one day. And this is the thing, right? I don't understand this talk about, oh, well, the whole season season it's too much of a burnout, which, okay, maybe there's some element of truth to that in some regards, but at the same time you get tournaments like this where the teams are playing, multiple best-of-3s in a single day, and sure, it's a marathon, but players do it, and they want to do it. They play again tomorrow. It's like, so that's not causing burnout, which is not, I don't think. But apparently some of these VCT teams playing any more than one match per month on average during the course of the year is a problem. I'm not really sure that I buy that idea personally, but speaking of the VCT, there are lots of questions on how good the rosters are going to be, especially in that crazy stacked group in the Americas. This is Mr. Bustio and his glow-in-the-dark hair that he's got going on here, and look, if he can somehow take this 100T team out of that very competitive group, that will be no doubt a masterful achievement, and that is exactly what FNS says here. We shall see here in a second. This is pretty funny as well, because NRG have the easy group. There's no doubt about it. Well, I guess the easy group is Group C, because that's got EG, Crew, and G2, which is pretty blessed, to be fair, and there's been lots of talk as to whether EG deserve or do not deserve that spot, and I think even Com mentions on stream that, yeah, he doesn't really think that should be the case necessarily. Of course, he's now on Lev, though, no longer on EG. I imagine Jorgumo might have a different opinion, remaining on EG, but this is pretty funny that apparently Victor and Crash is here arguing during scrims, so this is, well, Chet's way to keep these guys getting along, which, you could argue on both ways, whether, oh, well, they're arguing in scrims, that means they must be getting slammed, but to be fair, even if NRG aren't playing super well, they still should be good enough to get out of the group that they have. It's very achievable. Cloud9 in there, MIBR are in there, Fury are in there. It should be winnable, whereas the other group is the more challenging one. So this is what FNS has to say, predicting his opinion on which teams are going to come out on top. It is difficult to call. 100T realistically should get double rounded. We saw them get double rounded in the Ludwig Tarek Invitational by some challenger teams the other day. So probably they're going to get double rounded here by the real top dogs. Then though, you've got to choose 3, or you've got to choose 2 of 3. And, those 3 teams are pretty big teams.
Okay. Loud Sentinels. I picked Sentinels to win this. And I said this before. It doesn't matter who I pick. If I pick Sentinels to win and they lose, Loud fans already hate me. And then Sentinels fans are going to say I jinxed them. If I pick Loud fans are going to see through that and hate me anyway. And say I jinxed them, and they'll hate me more. And Sentinels will, I don't know. They'll say I glazed Sentinels. I lose either way. Like if I pick Sentinels here, apparently I'm glazing them. If I pick Loud here, it's because I'm going to try to like befriend the fan base. I'm going with Sentinels. Lev 100 Thieves. If Bustio is capable of making it out of this insane group, he goes down as the greatest. He will literally go down as the greatest of all time. But Lev, for obvious reasons, I don't see Lev losing this game. And then Sentinels Lev. Oh my god, Saucy Pancado versus Aspas. I mean, this is the hardest one by far. This is just a 50-50, dude. This is like the Fury at MIBR. I have no clue who wins this. Oh yeah, no Pancado, right? Oh yeah. Oh my god, Jordan. Can Jordan pull through? What do you guys think? Lev wins. It's season time. The season has started. Sentinels will choke. Okay. Loud versus 100 Thieves. We put... Oh, it hurts, man. It actually hurts, but I genuinely just think Loud clears. Lower bracket, anti-strat time. If I do this, I think they'll show up at my house. I feel like they'll show up if I do this. So I have to do this. For my own safety, I have to do this. Oh my god, I just don't know, man. Lose? Sentinels lose 2 in a row to Lev and Loud? Oh, it's gotta be Sen, right? After all that hype? Okay, you know what? We're gonna stick to the hype. We're gonna believe in Sentinels. Hope they learn from this loss and are able to win this game. These are veterans. These are core veterans of the game. Alright, this is actually what I think it's gonna go. Nah, listen, I'll explain. I have not seen anything from Loud. I've seen enough from Sentinels to show me that even at their above average play, they are capable of beating top teams in the world, or at least coming close. Loud lost their best player. I have to stick to what I think. I genuinely think Sentinels will win this game. But I genuinely think the way Sentinels plays right now, with John Cutie leading and Tyson on flex, is just very, very, very good. They've impressed me. So I'm going to stick to my gut and say that Sentinels should be able to pull through here.
So what do you guys think about FNS's opinion on this, right? It is difficult to say either way. Loud versus Sentinels is a quality rivalry, and is quite a likely matchup to occur on a couple of occasions. The feeling tends to be in the group that maybe Sentinels Loud the first time round doesn't massively matter, because whoever loses that is going to beat 100T, because 100T meant to lose to Lev, and whoever wins that are going to lose to Lev, and therefore they're going to play again anyway, which is not obviously guaranteed at all, but there is a feeling maybe that, Liv should be very strong. 100T should be relatively weak, at least according to this group, and therefore we're going to see Sen Loud on a couple of different occasions, which is what FNS predicts, really. But in the end, he's got Sentinels coming out on top and beating Loud on a couple of occasions to qualify through the group. And of course, once you've qualified through the group, you've still got to go on another step. You actually really need to be, in some respects, the number 1 seed. You don't need to be the number 1 seed, but if you come out as the number 2 seed in this group, as a very strong team will be the number 2 seed from this group, you then have to play a play-in against 2 other teams. So the number 2 seed from Group A and the number 2 seed from Group C, you play a play-in against those teams. Only one of those 3 teams makes it through, and then if you make it through that, you then play in like a double elimination bracket type thing, GSL style, whatever, against the other 3 teams that came out as the first seed to then see who qualifies for Masters Madrid. So you really want to be first seed if you can. You don't really want to lose at all, because if you come out as the second seed, you've got a bit of a gauntlet to get through again, and you've got to play another like 3 matches, even to make it to the playoffs, which is then when, you can actually try and qualify for Masters Madrid by getting top 2. So number 1 seed here is pretty crucial, actually, and, well, one team is going to do it. Liv, I suppose. Well, are Liv the favourites? I think there's an argument there. They are going through some interesting internal stuff. Getting rid of Nozra, bringing in Com. Very controversial. We don't know what's going on there behind the scenes. Feels a bit strange. Sentinels should maybe be the group favourites here on paper just because of how they performed at the Africa TV tournament. Are they still performing at that level? I don't know. Are other teams going to get better? Probably. I think it's going to be very competitive, this group. And Loud, Sanak has said quite a lot that, they're better than they're getting credit for right now. But as FNS says, his opinion is they've lost their best player in Aspas. He's gone to Lev. They should be weaker. And Sentinels should easily be strong enough, I think, to get out of this group top 2. But they'll want to be the number 1 seed because, as I say, if you're number 2 seeds, it makes things rather difficult for you to make it even further than that. But very much interested your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.